Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this short and simple. I loved Deadpool and Wolverine. I've seen it in the theater 3 times and my opinion hasn't changed. However, I did leave the theater with a couple minor critiques, specifically Logan's backstory. Logan tends to avoid getting close to people for obvious reasons. But even though we all know he cares, he still pretends that he doesn't. So after one of his nightly bar sessions, he stumbled home drunk, only to find all of the X-Men slaughtered and piled up like chopped wood. His words, not mine.
Dead. Piled like wood.
In my opinion, he had every right to be angry. Regardless if he died alongside them or not, at least he would have been there. But don't get me wrong, killing innocent people who had nothing to do with it is outrageous. A prison sentence don't mean shit to this nigga, so the people of his world just tolerate him.
You two gonna fuck or fight?
You gonna take that from him?
Yep. Barely. And he accepts it because he knows he fucked up. But his initial reaction was justified. My only problem is that we didn't get to see it. I spent the whole movie anticipating a flashback. However, Hugh Jackman's acting during both of these scenes were enough to convey his perpetual state of grief. His unwillingness to join the cause during this scene is a direct result of finding out that there's probably no hope of fixing what he did.
You don't have a fucking clue if they can help me fix things, do you?
No, I mean...
No! Fuck! Fuck! I didn't lie!
You lied!
No, I made an educated wish!
Which was his entire motivation for joining Deadpool in the first place.
We get back there, and we can fix your world together. I promise.
Again, Logan's reaction was justified. Which brings us to Wade's arc. I can't speak for everyone, but I thought the reason behind Wade and Vanessa's breakup was well executed. Hear me out. Deadpool 2 began with the montage of Wade sending dozens of bad guys to the gulag. The last dude on his hit list was able to escape, leading to his apartment being raided and Vanessa's demise. Similar to this film, Wade's motivation is centered around redemption and fulfilling his purpose, saving the world, or in this case, one person. Not for personal gratification, but because it's the right thing to do.
Hey, you don't need to do this.
I'm not doing it because I need it. I'm doing it because they do.
So after Cable used his time-traveling device to save him, Wade has it restored, and then he uses it to revive everyone he unintentionally got killed, including Vanessa. I can't be the only one that thinks this conversation didn't go well. Imagine if Peter went the extra mile and webbed both of Gwen's hands to the car. I'm sure this would have turned out a lot differently. All jokes aside, it is heavily implied that the events of Deadpool 2 is directly responsible for the wedge in their relationship.
You
How about
see
you?
him?
Yeah. He's kind.
Good.
Likes to go hiking. Hasn't gotten me shot yet.
Well, it's the early days.
And also, the basis of Vanessa's ultimatum. This is why Wade travels to the MCU with the hopes of becoming an Avenger. Mercenary work ain't gonna cut it anymore, so it's either become an Avenger or this. I get it. Look, John, can I call you John? That's not my name. Semantics. Listen, Foggy. I really need this job. What is your power exactly? Well, I have a remarkable healing factor, which makes me pretty much invincible. Oh, well, can I get a demonstration? Oh god, no. We're saving all that gory goodness for later. What? But I wouldn't give up hope. Depending on your answer, there's a high chance you'll be getting a demonstration anyway. What? Unfortunately, Happy does reject Wade's appeal, so he returns to his universe soon after falling into a depression, which causes an even bigger rift in his relationship with Vanessa, leading to their inevitable breakup. Wade begins this movie
Tired.
Retarded.
Retired.
from his identity as Deadpool. He hates his job, he isn't doing well financially, and he's wearing a toupee. Yet, he puts on a smile and pretends like everything's okay. It is his birthday after all, and he's surrounded by everyone he cares about. What more could he ask for? What could possibly ruin such a special moment? Fuck Paradox. All of this shit happened because he's a sociopath. Let's be realistic. Why couldn't he wait a couple thousand years?
We used to just prune these things. Simple, elegant, efficient. But I'm told the TVA doesn't like to do that anymore. Well, I do. And no matter what my so-called...
Fuck all that!
You're a TVA employee. All you know is time. You just want an excuse to commit genocide, dickhead. You ain't slick. Just like Deadpool, Blade and Electro were yanked from their universes as well.
How did you all get stuck in the void?
There was a knock at the door. TVA sent me here.
Me too.
Maybe I was born here. It's hard to know for sure.
Also, Gambit's here. And so is Laura. Wait, why is Laura here?
TVA decided our universe was dying. And I never even got a chance to fight for it.
But if that's the case, why not just prune Wade off rip? Why share your evil plan? Better yet, why remove them in the first place? Why not just prune their world with them still in it?
That's a time ripper, Mr. Wilson. Once completed, it will allow me to destroy the space-time matrix of your universe.
They can't stop the destruction of their universe if they're completely unaware that it's happening.
Don't worry, your friends won't feel a thing. It'll be over just like this. Oh, what's that?
Why did you do that?
So the movie can happen.
Fuck it, man. I'm already invested. To the film's credit, Paradox did say that Wade was pre-selected for the MCU draft. And technically it was proven.
What is that? Is that me? Is that Thor? Is he crying?
But the one thing that still confuses me is the concept of an anchor being. According to Paradox, Logan's death in 2029 caused what is essentially a universal malfunction, which is insane to me.
That is what happens when a universe loses their anchor being. See how it decays from the inside? This is how a reality dies.
What's an anchor being?
An anchor being is an entity of such vital importance that when they die, their whole world slowly withers out of existence.
But why? Fixed points? Understandable. Incursions? Might want to avoid that. Nexus beings? Can't avoid that. Memory wipe spell?
Who the fuck is this?
But anchor beings? If the death of one person could be responsible for the unraveling of an entire universe, what implications does this have for the sacred timeline? Who's the anchor being of that universe?
I guess we'll never know.
Imagine if it was Tony, and that's their explanation for all the mid-output lately.
What the fuck?
She's a different type of crazy. After she filleted Johnny, I took her seriously from that moment on.
I don't...
What did I do? Why did he do that?
Not my favorite Chris.
You stupid piece of shit.
I was a little uneasy knowing she could insta-kill anyone she wanted. Plus she's bullet and Wolverine proof. How do you fight that? Spoiler alert. You don't. So about a half an hour later, Cassandra shot 3 times in the torso, courtesy of Paradox. We'll get to that in a minute. But Logan was adamant about saving her life.
Take your hands off. This is for him. This is for Charles.
At first I felt the resolve here was slightly rushed. I mean, his decision makes sense in terms of his character arc, but why'd she have a change of heart?
My brother loved you.
He loved all of us.
Must be nice.
I guess the idea is that she'd never felt genuine love from anyone before, let alone her own brother.
Once in a while, I do get a Charles through here. Never mind, though. No. He didn't care to find me.
Being that she was cast away as a child, but she was literally born evil.
You're one of Xavier's.
You know him? You know Chuck?
Oh, I knew him. We shared a womb. Tried to strangle the sly little fellow with my umbilical cord.
Amen.
But then she says this.
I do owe you for saving my life.
I guess that's all it really comes down to. Anyway, she allows them to escape back to Wade's universe unharmed, only deciding to pull an Ultron and obliterate everything, all because of this dumbass.
Guy named Paradox. He said he'd get me out of the void. All I know is he works for the TVA.
The TVA? We had an agreement.
I don't think this guy cares.
He will.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Why would you do that? Now everyone has to suffer because you double-crossed the equivalent of a psychic Saitama. And out of all people, you sent him.
I have spent my entire existence.
Absolutely incompetent. I don't even blame her. Imagine you're this powerful and hold a mutual agreement with people who banished you to the Shadow Realm, just for those same people to put a hit on you. At this point, she's just standing on business. But why do we all have to die now? He did it. Matter of fact, drag him to the void with you. Nobody would object. I mean, maybe Logan would if he still had his heart set on fixing things on his world, but at this point, I'm pretty sure he's forgiven himself and accepted what happened.
I am wearing this suit. And that means a lot of things, but most of all, it means I'm an X-Man.
But for argument's sake, Wade's universe most likely would have continued to die anyway without a proper anchor being. So in conclusion, thank you, Paradox. You indirectly helped Wade save his timeline, simultaneously stopping an Omega level mutant. By putting these two in a situation so dire, it forced them to become better versions of themselves. Appreciate it. Although I may have my nitpicks, it doesn't outweigh all of the passion that went into making this movie happen. I gotta hand it to them. Marvel Jesus saved the day. With that being said, I'm cautiously optimistic about the future. We got a few MCU projects releasing next year, and the lineup looks promising. No glaze. We got Daredevil Born Again, Fantastic Four First Steps, Thunderbolts, Captain America. Oh, hey! Oh!
It's just been miss after miss after miss.